From Koreatown, Los Angeles, thank you for tuning in to Ktown Social Club. We bring together all issues from every angle to talk about the issues that you really care about. Oh, man. Leave a comment, like this video, subscribe to our channel, and smash that notification bell. Check the description box below to get our social media and podcast information. I'm Michael Kim, joined today by Ed Choi and Doug Kim. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for being part of our program. Here we are together again on Ktown Social Club. Now, the last episode ended in some heated discussion, but today we're gonna bring it down, be a little more chill this time.
You can't predict that.
Yeah. As I was saying that, I'm like, you know what? It might actually
Backfire?
Yeah. So let's start with K-Town, right? I was on Reddit this morning. And
Wait, how often do you go on Reddit? Because I don't really use Reddit at all.
I'm terrified of Reddit.
Why?
It's so toxic.
Oh, it is. Toxic conservatives, toxic liberals.
Well, for me, I would just, I kind of used poker forums in the 2000s, and it never really transitioned into Reddit, because that was like 2008, right? When it came out, Reddit? Something like that. And after I stopped going on the poker forums, like maybe mid-2010s, I just never had a desire to go on forums.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
Especially if you ever have a thread about yourself on there, you're just like, I'm just going to stay away from this place.
Yeah, I check it.
People have made threats about you?
Yep.
And which subreddits?
Asian identity.
Anime.
Huh?
Oh.
Anime.
Anime? That's weird. Why?
Okay, I guess we'll talk about it then. God damn it.
Oh, sorry. I do
Okay,
Last year when the live action One Piece came out, I made this video where I was like, it's
yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, you told me.
I was like,
Yeah.
the main character, kind of the energy was a little off. But then I was like, also in this anime made by Japanese people, I was like, the one Asian character is a stereotype, except I like paused for delivery to be funny in between saying one of the sentences. And after looking at it, I was like, oh, I could see how some people, but a lot of people chose to misinterpret what I said as being like, just because this is Japanese anime doesn't mean all the characters have to be Japanese. I was like, I never said that. I never said that.
Right.
So there's threads about me there.
Oh, okay.
A lot of them start off with, bro thought he was doing something, so choose to read it or not, up to you.
I think any influencer is always going to get hate.
Always.
Yeah.
part of the job.
I've even read stuff about Doug on there.
I'm not even an influencer. I'm like a nano influencer compared to Ed.
I've read about you. Well, in the Asian groups, you were in there, and they also talked about Albert, which I have no idea where he is now. But anyway, so I do check Reddit every day. I don't post there.
What subreddits do you go on?
Just local stuff or politics or Asian stuff, politics.
Like Asian identity? Or?
Yeah, Asian identity, Asian masculinity. I check all the Asian, Korean, Japanese. Yeah, anything Asian, anything like Syria, Russia.
What's in the Asian masculinity group? Because that sounds like it's not.
I'm surprised you're not in there.
I mean, I visited in 2016, 2017 to like
The shade. I just was like, there's no way that place isn't not toxic. And Michael just looks at you and goes, I'm surprised you're not in there.
I think they do a pretty good job of regulating when people are getting toxic.
The
Like,
mods.
what's wrong with you, bro? Or something like that. Like, hey, this is incel shit. Something like that.
Whoa.
But
That's progressive.
I
for
do
Reddit.
I do read them all, and I do read where the white racists like to hang out. Because even like 20 years ago, I used to check out Stormfront, the white supremacist site, just to hear the kind of stuff that they say about other races and about Asians. I remember after Virginia Tech, Chosun-hee.
Yeah.
I remember in Stormfront, they were chatting in there saying, see, this is what I keep telling you white people, like, Asians are not like us. Asians are just as, whatever. Like, don't you know they're born with tails? Stuff like that. So it's not. Yeah, they literally said
was an
that
actual post.
Asians have tails in Stormfront.
All people do.
Yeah, and
We used to.
I follow
Wait, why
these.
is it called Stormfront? I thought Stormfront was the
Is that
boys
website
reference?
still exist?
Yeah, does it still exist?
Oh, so I guess the boys was just being very on the nose.
Oh man,
with the
even
character.
their logo looks like it's very white supremacist-y.
I mean, so storm refers to lightning bolts, which is part of the SS's kind of iconography.
In the boys, isn't there?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I guess the boys got it from this.
Oh, that's what you said when you said the boys. Yeah,
I was
sorry,
like,
that
the other way
didn't
around.
connect.
I thought it was the other way around, where they named the subreddit after her, but it's like apparently,
they named her after the website. That's crazy.
Anyway, that's my word, right? Anyway. So I like to read what people say. I also go into black groups to hear what they say about Asians. Just
anything interesting?
Yeah, they don't like us.
Yeah.
Anyway. And
I gathered that.
Today I saw something that was a little more, normal. It says, what do LA people think of Koreatown? What do you guys think of K-Town? I mean, you're Korean, but you live in Santa Monica because of rent control. Do you like hanging out in K-Town?
Do I like hanging out there? I mean, like, yeah,
Forever
if I'm getting
Young.
food and with people and whatever, but not really into the nightlife there. Never really was.
You mean here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or I guess it's here. Generally, I just view K-Town as like a, it's a very low income ethnic community neighborhood. Most restaurants per capita apparently in the United States.
Oh wow.
Really?
Yeah, that's what my foodie friend told me.
K-Town?
Not per square mile rather, not per capita.
So it's the highest concentration of restaurants?
Yeah,
More than New York City?
I think so.
Wow.
That's amazing.
That is crazy.
And K-Town is the most...
It's like at least 2 pizza shops on like every block in New York. That's crazy.
And K-Town is the most densely populated part of LA, isn't it? I heard.
I wouldn't be surprised if it is, but I don't know. I don't know if that's true.
Wouldn't not believe that.
Yeah.
So in this music video that you did, how many years ago was this?
This was 2014, so almost 11
10 years. Wow.
Since it was February.
So a whole person.
So back then you were like doing the K-Town thing pretty often, huh?
No, this was a parody of.
Oh.
So in 2014, a lot of videos were coming out about like K-Town and trying to make it look like glitzy and glamoury, and I was like, nope. It's kind of sad and depressing, actually.
Oh, okay. Because when I look at the way you're dressed and your hairstyle, it's pretty slick. You look pretty fashionable.
The point is to be a parody. You want to
okay, but you never did that before.
I mean, I've been to fucking karaoke and stuff.
No, but you didn't dress like that before.
No, I mean, like I've dressed like that before in my life. Yes.
Oh, who's that?
But that's not like a look that I normally have.
I don't know. I think it's a good look. You look good.
Thank you.
Yeah, look at this guy. Look at this stud.
The whole point is that he's not a stud. He's a loser. God.
Then why
You're missing the point of the video. I mean, that's what my frustration was with the video. I was like, the director didn't understand what I was going for. Why are we watching this? Get back to Reddit.
Oh, yeah. So, okay, here's what seemingly mostly white people are saying.
That's the other thing too. Reddit is pretty much just for white people. I mean, not a lot of Asians go on.
And the thing that sucks about Reddit is I go into the subreddit like Korea. I'm banned from a bunch of Asian ones because the white mods kick me out or whatever. They don't let you. It's like Reddit is the only place where you have like an Asian group run by white
Asian
people.
American is run by a white dude.
Oh, it is
because it's WMAF.
Asian American is run by a white guy with an Asian woman, not like a HAPA kid.
Yes.
See, that's insane. That's crazy. Like, should we make a group called White American Culture and just... Anyway.
It's not that crazy. White colonists have been colonizing shit for all of history.
Yeah, and then they don't like it when a Korean comes into a Korean group and gets a little too Korean. Then they're like, can't have that in here on Reddit.
Yeah, I've been a part of like cooking groups that were like started by like a German guy in Germany, and I was like, what the fuck is happening here? And I got kicked out. So.
I posted on Twitter once about the 33% of rapes happen with less than 1% of the white population.
Yeah.
It was posted on Korea. It's like, oh, this Korean is posting fake news about us or something.
Wow.
I was like, this is our Korea crying. It's like, it's so obvious. This isn't a fucking Korean subreddit. It's a fucking white, fucking male-infested
white teachers or something. Anyway, Anyway, it seems K-Town's a pretty cool area with shitty parking and unusually dense amount of amazing food.
Everything is pretty accurate so far.
Yeah, it's just parking sucks. Food is great. Good nightlife.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Sketchy.
I'd also agree with that. I mean,
one of the best parts of the city that actually feels like a 24/7 city.
It is the only part of LA that's actually 24/7.
Is K-Town really the only place?
The
that's
only
24/7?
part of LA. Everywhere else, everything closes by 9.
and the only place that sometimes skirts the 2 a.m. liquor rule. So be on the lookout for speed traps, police, if you're out at 3 or 4 in the morning,
Yeah.
because they will get you. Not me. I haven't done anything like that, but I've heard stories.
Someone even says, "Am I tripping, or is K-Town the most discussed neighborhood on this sub?"
Is this an LA sub?
It's the best.
It's
neighborhood.
it's Ask Los Angeles subreddit. So when I see this, it seems like, man, K-Town is like the #1 hotspot in LA. Maybe.
I mean, just for food alone.
Yeah.
Food and
is
nightlife.
food is the heart of a city. You know what I mean? Like, people come here all the time to visit, and they're always like, "Oh, let's get something to eat." I'm like, "Oh, there's nothing to eat. It's after 9." And they're like, "What do you mean? We live in LA." And I'm like, "LA is one big suburb of the city."
That's also when I I lived in New York City for 6 years, and when I came here, one of my gripes was like, this is not a city. I don't know what you guys.
Yeah, I mean,
call
even in
cities.
Philadelphia, there's so many places that are open until like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. There are 24/7 diners everywhere in Philadelphia. There's like 2 diners in all of Los Angeles.
Wait, could you like go downstairs from your apartment and just like get something and just come right back in like 2 minutes?
Depending on which part of Philly I lived in, but yes.
Yeah. So that was the same thing. I just like fucking go to the Shake Shack or whatever, or it'd just be so easy. Everything is just at your fingertips.
I mean, in Philadelphia, you could just go to the Wawa, which is a convenience store, like gas station, and they have like ready-to-made, like per order sandwiches and stuff that you can get, like hot sandwiches.
Though, I mean, I wouldn't recommend like walking around K-Town and doing the walk-in stuff, but
Not at 3 a.m.
yeah, but there are a lot of options in any part of the K-Town.
In fact, food was like so accessible at late night in Philadelphia that I had the idea for like Uber Eats like 20 years ago. Because I remember after the bars, I'd be like, I don't want to go to Wawa. And I'd be like, wouldn't it be great if there was a service that would just go pick up Wawa for you and you would just order it on your phone? And then I was like, no one's going to do that.
Yeah.
And that's why Stanley Tang's a billionaire and you're not.
Is he the Uber Eats guy?
He's DoorDash.
Yeah, DoorDash.
So, in LA, there's still Denny's everywhere. Denny's is 24 hours, isn't it? And IHOP.
Let me reframe. 24/7 diners where they cook the food and not nuke it.
Where they don't microwave.
Yeah.
I see. Okay. Well, I mean,
But yeah, LA does have that, like I said, it has an earlier curfew with drinking.
what are
than
some
most cities.
24-hour K-Town spots then?
Not like BCD's open 24/7. I can't name a single non-Korean restaurant in LA that's 24/7. Cantor's, there's one.
Cantor's is 24/7.
Oh.
Samnongdan is 24/7.
Oh.
Songnondam is 24/7.
Yeah, BCD stopped being 24/7.
They did?
Yeah, I think they're open till like 3 or 4 a.m.
You know
on
what it is?
weekends
It's
now?
of them?
also because like K-Town has like a nightlife.
After what, the pandemic that changed?
Yeah, BCD closes at 3 or 4 a.m.
What?
They're closed for 3 to 4 hours a day.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so
I mean, 3 hours, whatever.
24
They have
hour
to like clean the.
spots.
No, but they were like, if anyone ever like was like,
Rotate
hey,
the
I'm
staff.
hungry, like we just flew in, and it's 3 o'clock in the morning, I'd be like, BCD is open. No, I can't say that. Songnondam it is.
and then there's
Really expensive.
But yeah, all the clubs, all the booking clubs, and all that stuff. They afterwards they would file out into a Sonongdong and like provide that traffic for 3 a.m. drunk. Galbichim.
But yes, K-Town is the best neighborhood in Korea. Or I mean, in Los
wow.
Angeles.
Even Ommajip closes at midnight. It used to be 24 here too. Wow, a lot of these places that used to be 24 are no longer 24.
Best for
It must
young
have
people.
happened. It must have
I would
happened after the
say-
pandemic, huh?
Yeah, I think so.
I would say I would not want to live in K-Town after the age of like 40
Hodori is still 24 hours.
now.
Yeah. So I guess we have Hodori,
So what do you
Songnongdan.
think of K-Town then? You live here, right? So
K-Town was my first home. So I lived in K-Town the first 3-4 years of my life, moved to the Valley, and then moved back to K-Town when I was 18 and have been mostly here since.
So what would you tell these Reddit people?
To me, it just feels like home. Like, I don't know, it's the most concentration of... To me, this is just normal. Like, it's what I'm used to. When I lived in Korea for 2 years, my direct neighborhood was pretty quiet, but yeah, you could always find like Kimbap Cheongguk or places 20... And always the convenience stores.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And in Korea, we would go clubbing out till like 6 in the morning.
Jesus.
Yeah, it was like normal to do that.
Yeah, the last time I visited Korea, I think we got in late, and it was at like 1 o'clock in the morning. My mom was like, "Oh, there's a chimak place." I was like, "That's perfect." I was like, "I just want fried chicken."
Chimak at 1 in the morning?
I only ate the cheap part of the chimak, but yes.
Right. Cool. I mean, do you ever plan on moving to K-Town, Ed?
I don't know. Actually, on the drive in today, I was looking at some of the houses down the road, and I was like, "Dang, wonder if anyone ever buys these now duplex houses and just makes it a one single family home again." And I was like,
if I were to
what
live in K-Town, I'd probably live in an apartment.
Yeah. Have you guys been to Buena Park, the new K-Town that's been emerging? Like,
I haven't been to OC in a while. Well, no, I was there for Thanksgiving, but other than that, I haven't been to the OC in a long time.
Where in Orange County was the Thanksgiving that you went?
Santa Ana.
Okay, Santa Ana. So you're not too familiar with the Source Mall?
No.
Wow. Okay.
Wait, so Buena Park is a Korean place? I thought it was Fullerton.
Well,
For older people.
Oh.
I mean, it's like right next to each other, but I see all the stores and supermarkets are in Buena Park.
Yeah.
Like, I always knew it was there, but I didn't really check it out until like last year. And as I was visiting, I realized like, holy shit, this is where the new K-Town is. Like, the K-Town here is like dying or whatever. It's just getting too...
Like from a community standpoint, it's still K-Town from a business standpoint, right?
Here?
Yeah, right?
Yeah, it's still K-Town, but...
But you
Just
think
not-
that even the Korean food is declining in quality here?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying like you can get just as good food. The same restaurants are in Buena Park also.
And maybe even cheaper.
Yeah, there's the Pekjong is out there too. It is even cheaper, and then there's free parking. You don't have to valet,
Oh, the parking does.
How far is Buena Park?
and you don't have to worry about getting mugged. Without traffic, maybe 45 minutes. I don't know, something like that. But
That's kind of a hike.
and considering a lot of Korean businesses have been moving there or opening another branch out there, I wonder about the future of K-Town LA, like what it'll look like here in the next 10, 20 years. Because
It's just so sad because LA, this is our home.
yeah, but if you look at Chinatown's still Chinatown, right? But where are all the Chinese people, right? They're in the San Gabriel
LA
Valley.
Chinatown's like non-existent.
Yeah, so
Well, San Gabriel Valley.
No, there's still a lot of Chinese people there. They're just the older people that just kind of got like left behind.
Yeah, that's what's going to happen
sad.
to K-Town.
yeah, so I
That's what's
feel
going to happen to Koreatown.
K-Town's next. It's going to be like Chinatown.
I like how you like slowly realize as you were saying.
No. I knew it as I was saying it. It just
shit.
was like They're just like it's just like older. It's just like the people who were left behind. It's sad.
Yeah.
No
All right.
country.
Anyway,
Old Asian.
K-Town. Yeah.
But I mean, that subreddit was pretty non-toxic, at least how far we went, and it was pretty accurate.
Yeah.
Very pleasant.
And speaking of another Reddit post, wait, not yet. There was a Winnie the Pooh sighting in China. Can you believe this? There's a Winnie the Pooh sighting in China, which is crazy because supposedly Winnie the Pooh is banned in China, isn't it, Doug?
I don't know. Why do you keep asking it like in this way? Like questions you already know the answer to.
Because I'm trying to provide you an opportunity to look smart for the audience.
Right, but
And now, so that's how conversations work.
Isn't it true that Winnie the Pooh is banned in China? Because
I hate it when you do this, like reporter thing.
Xi Jinping is like, he hates it or something.
But you also can't say that you're so knowledgeable in certain things and then not be looked to.
I mean, okay, fine, yeah. So for the longest time, I guess Taiwanese people thought they were trolling Xi Jinping by comparing him to fucking Winnie the Pooh and said that, oh, they're banning Winnie the Pooh or whatever. But obviously they did not ban Winnie the Pooh, so it's fake.
Yeah. So bring this up. According to this person on Reddit, it was at Reddit when they thought China banned the cartoon character because of its appearance similar to Xi Jinping. Was it all blown up to misinform the public and deface China? Because this is quite a few Xi Jinpings here, huh? I mean, if it's really banned, why would they have so many on display? Okay, I guess that's it.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, from a logical standpoint, too, it doesn't make any sense because Winnie the Pooh has fallen out of trademark.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so like, why would China be like, oh no, we can't sell this thing that's adorable and that everyone loves that we don't even have to give any money to Disney for? Like, why would that? That doesn't
So
even
they
make
make
sense.
all that money? Like, if they sell Winnie the Pooh,
That's not Disney. You can tell it's
shit.
that's not Disney quality face.
Well,
But
that's
it's also
true.
not illegal anymore because Winnie the Pooh is now public. It's now
because it's a
public.
whole Wikipedia page on China's.
Oh, whatever. Anyway, China also has Disneyland, so it is Disney, right?
Yeah, that was Bob Iger's crowning achievement in Shanghai.
Shanghai, Disneyland, Winnie the Pooh. Let's see if there's Winnie the Pooh at Shanghai Disneyland. Holy moly. He's right in the middle, Xi Jinping.
I guess he's the titular character of the Winnie the Pooh franchise. So
Yeah. What does Pooh mean? Adding the H, what does that do?
it makes it not crap and
It
a
makes
person
it
or a
from
bear.
Pooh to Pooh.
Also, look for Winnie the Pooh and Tigger and Barack Obama and Xi. Image. That's what people
Oh,
try to.
that's kind of funny.
That's actually hysterical.
Yeah.
Only because
the donkey one is kind of funny too.
only because his arms are just like that.
He's ER.
Hey, man, he's no longer with us on this planet, so.
Whatever. Sucks. What? He was in a fucking plane called Unit 731.
I know. I'm
You want me to feel sorry for this guy?
Did
He
I?
was also like LDP scum. He was literally the grandson of a war criminal.
I didn't say feel sorry for him, but, you know. Anyway.
Oh. Well,
I feel sorry for his family,
I don't feel sorry for
like
them.
his children or something.
I
But
don't feel sorry for his ancestors.
Next topic.
yeah. Next, local news. California Congressional District 45. It was a battle between the Democrat Derek Tran from Vietnam and Republican Michelle Steele from Korea.
Well, not from there.
Maiden name is Park. Michelle Steele Park.
Ethnically, I suppose.
Michelle Park Steele.
Yeah, Michelle Park Steele, yeah. Michelle Steele has conceded the 45th Congressional District seat to Democrat challenger Derek Tran. And you guys feel any kind of way about this? Because wasn't Michelle Steele like red baiting him?
Yeah.
And shortly before the election, there was this scandal about money that was...
Wait, wasn't he like ex-military too?
He is ex-military.
I'm
That's his
guessing that's
whole
why I have
platform.
these-
Yeah, so it's like it's crazy to call him like a commie bait or red bait him because like
Well, he's also using that South Vietnam flag there, isn't he?
yeah,
Yeah.
the Adidas.
You can't get more anti-communist than that.
Yeah.
So...
He even incorporated it into his logo. I don't know if you noticed, but the A
yeah,
and the military
Yeah.
stripes are literally
It's basically a battle of the
the
Guksanos.
South Vietnamese flag.
That's what I think about it.
yeah, I
They're
think...
both they're both like fucking stooges for imperialism.
But, you know, there was this scandal with Michelle Steele about 1.2 million. Do you remember about that? About the meals? And, you know, like people had provided meals or something.
This was for the pandemic, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
She
you
had
know,
an organization, like a nonprofit.
yeah, and then some other organizations, they spent maybe $6 or $7 per meal, $8, $10 per meal. Her meals were like 20 something or whatever.
Yeah,
It was this
that's what
crazy
it is,
amount. And it turned out it wasn't even like a catering company, but it was like a printing shop. And it was owned by her friend. And
Yep.
I think that was probably a really bad move on her part.
Good old South Korean corruption.
But it almost seemed like the politicians down there were like in it together because it wasn't just her.
Oh no, definitely not.
There was like so many in OC where they were like just siphoning money.
I'm sure it wasn't just her.
It wasn't. There was that one guy whose like daughter set up like a nonprofit for also food, and they were also embezzling like $1 million plus.
There's so many people that were scamming, not just that, but the PPP loans.
Yeah. Well, one of them was actually, they were also guilty of the PPP loans.
Yeah, exactly. Like there's so many scams going on back in the pandemic.
Yeah, but and then for her to like, call this guy a communist when
Well, she was just desperate, right? She needed.
Yeah,
to,
I mean, if I had that magnifying glass,
like,
she probably knew she was going to lose. So.
if I had that magnifying glass on me for fraud, I would also
Just
be
like,
doing
yeah,
that. I'd be like, oh my god, he's racist. Did you just hear him just say the N-word? I'd be like, this guy's whatever.
You're trying
whatever.
to win an election. You don't care about morals or principles.
She only lost by like a few hundred votes, right?
Right. So that's probably, so it worked kind of almost. And the other thing is like, that's the same thing with like fucking Joe Biden, like pardoning
Hunter.
Oh god.
It's just like
just before his presidency
everyone
ends.
just fucking says shit to get elected.
Always.
Yeah. Speaking of the Biden, pardoning Hunter, what was it that Hunter did? I saw some pictures and videos. Some of them were really nasty.
I mean, the biggest thing was like that they're trying to, in my opinion, cover up is the business dealings with Ukraine. In 2014, because if you see the wording of the pardon, it's not just for anything that was on the laptop or whatever. It was like from anything from 2014 to now, pretty much. And 2014 was when the whole big Crimea thing happened with Ukraine and all this other dealing. So people are saying that it's looking very likely that something shady happened 10 years ago, and speculating that part of the reason for this war is to cover up those crimes.
And by the way, bring up this screen. This is what they said about in the past about pardoning Hunter.
The president would not pardon or commute sentences for a stud Hunter. I just want to make sure that is not going to change over the next 6 months. The president's saying it would not.
It's still a no. It's still a no.
It will always be a no.
It's still a no. It will be a no. It is a no, and I don't have anything else to add. Will he pardon his son? No.
So,
I wonder if she has any future in any sort of press secretary job. And
do you remember Jen? Do you remember Jen Psaki, the redheaded?
The Trump one?
No. She was under Obama.
Oh,
she has a pretty good career. I think she's with. I don't know what her position was, but
but like
I think she's with MSNBC.
People weren't looking for lies back then. This is just like obvious.
Yeah, but also she's not at fault, right?
No, she's not at fault.
But what I'm saying is people aren't.
But she represents the administration.
Well, I know that. I guess that was what I'm trying to lead into. Was like it's kind of fucked up that like white man put a black woman on and be like, "Hey, you get caught lying. Okay, bye."
Oh yeah, they're just definitely going to use them to kick them to the curb. That's probably why they hired a black woman. To be honest,
and
they knew that they could dispose of them right after whatever.
You see the other guy they have
I'm not
up.
gonna go as far to say that, but the optics looks like that, doesn't it?
Have you seen the was it the press room or whatever, the guy that they used to talk about Gaza and all that when the journalist questioned that Indian guy?
Oh, of course.
Yeah, he's like this pudgy like Indian. He's like a little Indian Kim Jong Il, and he makes excuses for every. I'm like, and he's younger than us.
Wait, who is this guy? UN?
No, U.S. Who's the Indian guy who?
Wait, you're not talking about the FBI
Biden
guy, right?
Vedant Patel. See, they know.
Oh,
That's crazy. I was laughing at how ridiculous that prompt was.
wait, what was the prompt?
I said Indian guy who works under Biden.
Oh. Patel.
This guy always makes like, yeah, this guy. They always use the minorities to, to be the face of,
It's
these.
like that quote Malcolm X said. He said, like, they will pay one of us to kill one of us just so they can say it was one of us.
Yeah. So anyway, that's.
I mean, they put that with the there was a picture of the Secretary of Defense being black. There's a picture of the UN person being black.
Mm-hmm.
They're like saying that they're using them because it's like putting a black face onto imperialism and kind of like trying to sanitize it in that way.
Yeah. Right. So
basically, like Colin Powell was the initial person that they used for that kind of thing.
now here's the crazy thing that I saw was because I follow some black pages, black media, whatever.
Like the Shade Room or whatever.
Yeah, Shade Room or whatever. And the response is what? Guess what the response is? Like, yeah, if Trump can do it, if Trump can let his son-in-law, more power to, Biden, go for. I'm like, you guys act like you guys got pardoned for something. Like, wasn't Biden a big part of the crime bill like 30 years ago?
Yeah.
That there
and he was
millions
best friends with Strom Thurmond, who was like pretty much the most racist senator in American history.
Right. So Biden helped put millions of black people in prison, and now that he pardons his white son, which what black people would have gotten prison time for, black people are now praising it.
He's literally, his son was literally diddying all over the place for a decade.
It's crazy. It's like, I understand, fuck Trump and all that, but how do you support, it's hard to, how do you support this racist white man and you cheer for him for letting his son off free? He's not going to do the same for you. Yeah. Stupid. It's stupid.
And it
really makes y'all look bad.
I want to say it has nothing to do with Biden, right? It just has to do with
fuck Trump.
That and the privilege, the like blatant privilege, right?
Yeah.
I think it's
it's very similar to 30 years ago with the O.J. Simpson thing. The black community knew he was guilty, but they thought it was like a win for them,
right?
Well, I think it was like, hey, I can see their point.
If there is a single person on this earth who believes that O.J. Simpson was innocent, you need to go get checked out, for sure.
There still are some black people who do, but no. Majority knew he was guilty.
Yeah. Like, if the glove don't quit or fit, you should have quit. Like, yes, leather gloves shrink. What?
I do think it was like, hey, how many times police have killed our people and got away with it? How you like that, motherfuckers?
Exactly.
I think that's all it was.
Yeah. For sure.
So
I think it's the same here.
It's obviously very unfortunate for the families of those victims.
Oh, obviously.
Ron Goldman, and Nicole Brown Simpson. Nicole Brown, yeah.
Thank you for the emphasis.
Do you remember the restaurant they went to? It was called Mezzaluna.
I don't know. I wasn't.
Oh, is that where they went?
I was
in Brentwood?
Invested in the story.
I was more invested in the Bronco chase.
Yeah, Mezzaluna.
I was just in middle school, so that was 94, right?
Oh my God. I remember we turned on all the TVs in middle school to listen to the verdict.
We did that too.
Yeah, we stopped all of school and each classroom had a TV for the morning announcements and every class turned it on just for the verdict.
I'm trying to remember what the reaction was. I think most people cheered.
Because we were like 11, 12. We were like, hell yeah, O.J. Simpson juice,
Oh, I didn't even know who he was.
Oh, I knew who he was.
He was just the guy from Naked Gun.
Yeah, that's mostly what I knew him from Naked Gun.
And commercials he did a bunch of Hertz or whatever it was.
Hertz.
I
was
big
big
real
Hertz.
quick, but
yeah, we'll see you.
Yeah.
Doug's going to go pee.
Oh, this is real. This is real.
Michael Wan did it once. He's like, can I go to the bathroom? And I was talking to myself for like 3 minutes.
My God.
And then he walks back on the screen. Let's talk shit about him now. Oh, he just heard us as he was walking.
That was Michael.
So what do you think about Doug?
Oh, fuck that guy. No, just kidding.
What a,
We argue.
Yeah.
But it's a love-hate. I love to hate him. I'm just kidding.
I hate that I love him.
Both.
Yeah. What do you think, buddy?
He's like, why do you think I'm wearing these earmuffs? I don't want any part of this conversation.
Yeah.
What if Doug's just standing right there this whole time?
No, we'd be hearing him cackling.
Fair.
Or he'd be stewing like... Anyway, so let's get it started on our next topic before Doug gets back. There's something called Colatec. Have you heard about this?
What is that?
You know what a discotheque is?
Yeah.
Like a nightclub, right?
Yeah. We all learned it in foreign language class, right?
Yeah.
Où la discoteca?
Yeah, discoteca. So
I think I just combined French
in Korea, they combined the word Coca-Cola and discotheque and have Colatec. And it's where old people can go pay like a small entry fee, like maybe 1,000 won for men, harabojis, and 2,000 for harabojis, 1,000 for harmonies. And they drink sodas and they drink sodas and dance and, try to hook up.
That's crazy. So it's called Colatec out of like innocence. Like, hey, instead of drinking, we just like sip on sodas and
I guess, yeah.
And then fornicate.
Yeah, so according to this, near Yeongdeungpo Market,
Every day.
older men and women dressed in vibrant attire, red wool coats, silk skirts, and polished shoes swayed to the rhythm of trot music. There was a 73-year-old who climbed the stairs, swapped his backpack for a tailored suit, and joined the dancers. I come to the Colatec every day now, just like going to work. I paid 70 cents, 1,000 won, and danced for 3 hours. At my age, no one offers me work, and I had nothing to do, but now this place is the joy of my life. Dancing makes me feel younger. Exercise should always be fun. Named after cola being served at discos, Colatecs, derived from cola and discotheque, originated in the 90s as venues for young people where alcohol and smoking were prohibited.
A lot of these, I guess.
Yeah. Welcome back. So as younger generations turn to online platforms, so anyway, eventually these Colatecs evolved into places for middle-aged, and now it's for people in their 60s and 70s.
That's hilarious.
So, Doug, in Korea, there's these things called Colatecs.
Yeah, what the hell's a Colatec?
Discotheque and cola.
Oh.
It's non-drinking like dance clubs for senior citizens in Korea, and you only pay like an entry fee of $1 or $2.
Sounds like something my mom would go to if she was in Korea.
Yeah,
I'd be angry if my mom went to this. I feel like.
you'd be angry if your mom went.
Yeah.
Would she go?
No.
So yeah, I mean, what do you think about this? I think it's a great thing. I think
It's a great idea.
I think we should have them. If we don't already, we should have these in LA because I think there's a lot of lonely seniors out here who, and they don't know the language, and where are they going to socialize?
Actually, I take that back. I don't think my mom would do it because she already has like the church stuff. So that's already like the built-in community for her.
Well, also, like, whatever happened to underage bars and clubs? Do they not exist anymore? Or do we just not pay attention to it because we don't need it?
Wait, what do you mean underage?
Like, when I was in high school, there used to be like underage bars and clubs
LA?
you can go to in Philadelphia, at least, where like there was no alcohol, or it'd be a bar where it was like 18 to enter, 21 to drink, and you had to have like a wristlet to drink. Do those not exist anymore or here?
Yeah, I don't think because like we've adultified teenage life so much that it doesn't. People are like doing drugs right now. Like teenagers are doing drugs.
I mean, we did too, but there were these venues that were available where like a DJ would spin and it would be like at an 18 to enter, 21 to drink place.
Yeah,
because the reason why I asked that is because like those places could daylight very easily for seniors because let's be honest, they're not going out at like 10 to 2 in the morning.
Well,
maybe those places just didn't make that much money to survive. If you're not selling alcohol, that's a lot of.
I used to go to Circus Disco. What the fuck?
What?
There was this place. Wow, they really developed around here.
What are you talking about?
No, there used to be a big nightclub here called Circus Disco. But what they did was they would let us. It was 18 and up. To drink, you had to be 21. I think you had a wristband.
Yeah.
Because it was like, before they called it EDM, it was like house music, trance music, drum and bass. Yep. And
also, they would just be on drugs anyway, so they wouldn't drink alcohol.
Yeah, right. So it wasn't really a lot of people were on ecstasy.
Or like the kids would still drink, but like you can only drink like a flask's worth, so you're not getting like shit hammered. You're just getting like drunk,
Yeah. Anyway, I don't know if they're still around because I haven't been to a club in many years.
Neither have I, but that's what I mean. I was like, do they not exist, or have I just not heard of them because they're not relevant to my life?
Yeah.
For like 30 years.
Even these Circus Disco pictures are like 8 years old, 9 years old. Okay, I think they're gone.
For sure.
Because Google, it says it's opening on Tuesday. I'm like, what? Wow. Anyway, yeah, I used to go here every Thursday. They called it Funhouse. Circus Disco Funhouse.
Yeah, when I go to like raves and stuff, like I can always tell like they're 18-year-olds that sneak in and shit and whatever. It's like
Yeah,
because I even know someone. I had a friend of mine who like had a mom's night out, and like she and like 50 other moms from their school and like surrounding schools, they just like put out this call and they're like, we're renting out a club. And they did it from like 6 till like 9 or something, which is like before the club opens, So I was like, well, that's a lucrative business because you have another business before your business opens.
cool.
And that could easily be done with Colatec or whatever.
But then what does your, like, okay, What does, like, your mom does a church thing? What does your mom do for fun? Like,
Or
socially?
like social.
I have no idea. She lives in Korea.
Maybe she goes to... Or,
Doesn't she have like other Ajima friends or whatever? Or
Well, that's part of the reason why she
School
moved
friends?
back was so that she can like reconnect with like her actual friends. So
Yeah.
I mean, I guess she does, but I think the majority, like when she used to live in Philadelphia, I think the majority of the time my mom just like goes somewhere and reads by herself. Like my mom used to go to the Starbucks down the street from our house in Philadelphia, and she would read every day. And like, eventually,
what did she read?
Eventually, I like befriended someone who happened to work at the Starbucks, and I was like, "Is there a little Asian lady that comes in everything?" She's like, "Oh my god, yeah, she tips us so well." I was like, "That's my mom, and she tips really well because I told her to." But yeah, she's known for that. I don't know what she reads. She reads spiritual books mostly, I think.
not like Christianity, but like, you know, astrology stuff? Or?
No. I think like Christianity.
Yeah,
maybe.
my mom's the same. She's just always reading. I was like, don't you get bored? It's the same fucking shit.
And my mom reads like so many books.
So they're not the Colatec types.
My mom's definitely not the Colatec type.
My mom did read 150 pages of the Ho Chi Minh biography I originally gotten from my dad.
Right. And by the way, you asked about underage drinking places here. There used to be one in Ktown on 3rd Street. You guys remember Chogatchip?
I don't know. I don't really. I never really went to the nightlife here.
That place was famous for underage drinking, like even 25 years ago. As I recall, am I allowed to even say this? Anyway, they're closed now, so it doesn't matter.
Like as you guys know, I was pretty much, you know.
That's hilarious because that girl drinking that huge pint of beer looks like she's maybe underage.
Yeah.
You know, as you guys know, until like 10 years ago, pretty much. Maybe even, yeah,
You were a
9
wet
years
rag. We know.
Yeah. I was a fucking...
Wet rag.
Oh, you were like kind of sheltered.
Christian.
Yeah, right, yeah.
I was a fucking Christian.
But
Or I was a Christian that actually did the stuff that the Bible said. Apparently, everyone else was doing the stuff, but I was the idiot who didn't realize everyone else was doing the stuff.
maybe you were the only. Maybe you weren't the idiot, but you were.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the Bible says that. A very small percentage of people will
true.
actually make it to the kingdom of heaven because the rest of us are all sinners.
I mean, it's not exactly that, but similar, sort of.
What I want to know is how do these Korean places get away with it? Because there was this place even in Philadelphia where, like, at 14, I would take
That's not you.
my white friends. Haha.
I meant Doug.
Oh,
I thought that was Doug for a
I
moment.
thought you were insinuating that bald guy
The
was
guy's
me.
large. What are you talking about?
But you look at the cigarette.
Oh.
Just the genuine.
Oh, you thought that guy was me. I thought you...
No, I thought
Great.
this
no,
one
he
was
thought
you.
that guy was you.
Yeah. What? No.
No, but there was even this place where I would take like my white friends and it would be blacked out door. I would knock. They would barely open it enough to see my Korean face and for me to go, "안녕하세요," and then they'd open the door. And then me and like 6 white kids would come stumbling in. We're clearly in high school. And we would drink till like 3 o'clock in the morning. That place one time got raided by the police.
This
and
is
it was
Philadelphia.
It was even in the news articles that the police found like bottles hidden in their drop ceiling. Then they reopened the next day. And I was like,
They don't give a fuck.
how does this happen? And then they're still open. Like, I'm like, I don't understand.
They're still open now.
I'm pretty sure.
I'm guessing the Philly PD gets a kickback, yeah. There's definitely some...
Yeah, and the liquor stores,
Kickback
a lot of them
action.
used to sell cigarettes to minors too.
I got a fake ID. Went to the first Korean-owned beer place at 14. They didn't even check my ID. I was like, why did I spend money on this?
McLovin IDs.
Right. Anyway, these were the prices back in 2008. Can you imagine? You get 3 bottles of Hype beer, nakjibokum, odengtang, and you get the tongdak chicken, a whole chicken for $59.99.
Pretty
Is
good.
that cheap?
Yeah, for 3. I mean, how much would this cost? The chicken alone now would cost like 27, plus the muscle like 24, 51, plus the nakjibokum, 460. I'm thinking like $90 at least. Maybe this is like 99 now.
I mean, like,
fair.
I've seen, like, suwon galbi prices, even the past 5 years, go up, like, 30, 40%.
Well, I was just thinking, I was like, that seems like a good deal now. I was like, is it that much?
Yeah.
Was it that good of a
back
deal
then,
then?
I don't think it was
A great deal?
It was just
It was okay.
It was just whatever. But man, look at these prices, like corn cheese, $7.99. Wow.
Why? How much is corn cheese now? $7.99 for corn cheese sounds so expensive.
Well, how much corn cheese?
Well, I
Fair.
mean, it's as your anju order, but no, the Heineken's $5, Corona $5.
Okay, that's crazy.
Wow.
But that also seems expensive for 2008, no?
I mean, it wasn't cheap.
All that quantitative easing. Thanks.
As if the average viewer has any idea what quantitative easing is.
The Ben Bernanke.
Quantitative easing. Yeah, guys, just look it up.
Yeah.
Well, that's what they said after. It's basically money printing, but that's what they called it in 2008. Quantitative easing.
Yeah, but anyway, people used to drink and smoke here underage and everything.
Well, that explains why everything was a little expensive. They're like, you're underage.
Perhaps.
You're going to pay a premium.
Their chicken was delicious, though, I must say.
Which kind of makes sense why I'm looking at that menu now. I'm like, these seem like now prices, kind of.
Cheongjeep. Chugajeep.
Chogachi.
Chugajeep.
All right, so speaking of prices, let's look at cost of living in 1938.
Why?
I have this ready.
Why?
I don't know. I thought it was interesting.
I feel like I've seen this before.
So in 1938, this was the cost of living.
What? They were making $1,700 a year?
You're making $1,700 a year, which is under $150 a month, right? But your rent was $27. So your rent was still like 1/5 or less of your income. So
I guess if you multiply everything by 100, kind of makes sense. But the average income
is not
divided by
100.
2.
Yeah.
The average income has to be divided by 2. So I guess if you
And that's the problem. That's it. That's
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
When all
So
the
basically-
boomer parents are like, back in my day, fuck off.
you are literally earning 50% of the...
no, well,
everything
let's look at this. 1731 a year divided by 52 weeks a year divided by 40 hours a week. They would be making about 83 cents an hour.
Hold
right?
on a second. You can do calculations in the search bar?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought you
Why
knew.
did I not know that? Jesus fucking Christ.
I mean...
You learn to our audience. Yes, you can.
That's why we talk about the issues that you
Really
care about.
That was
Oh.
that was me acting, by the way. I knew that. It wasn't.
Yeah, so 83 cents an hour. So buying a movie ticket, it's about, 20 minutes of work or something?
25 cents.
Oh, okay. It's about 18 minutes of work and you can get a movie ticket, right? How much are movie tickets now? Like $20?
Probably like around 100 times. What, 25 cents? Well, yeah.
Yeah, so
Not
if
25.
now it's like
Well, it depends on if you want to get IMAX, if you want to get blah, blah, blah.
so now it's like an
Well,
hour of
The
work.
average movie ticket is like, let's say $20. The minimum wage is like 16. So the average person would have to work more than an hour to watch a movie,
Yeah.
theoretically.
Whereas before it was only 18 minutes. So it is work. Look at all the technology, all the advances. We have the internet, we have smartphones, and yet the standard of living in terms of, the time we have, the rent and all that stuff, it's much worse now than it was, 86 years ago. Crazy.
How much was it? How much was gas per gallon when you guys started driving?
I don't really remember. I just remember for like $10.
It was under $1.
I only remember like when I first moved to LA, because I didn't even use the car in New York City. When I moved to LA in 2012, gas prices were actually higher than they are right now. They were kind of like really high for some reason in 2012.
They were higher than 6.
Oh, no, not 6. Maybe like 450. I saw like 5.
It's
450.
closer to like 550 now, but
shit.
it was definitely not.
Maybe I'm out of
that.
touch since I haven't driven in a while.
Well, the reason what I'm trying to get at is it was like I want to say like roughly around 89 cents a gallon when I got a car when I started driving.
I've never seen 89 cents.
When we
have
started
never
driving, it
seen
was
that in
under
my
$1.
life.
It was
I've
like
never seen under $1 in my
I
life.
think it was like for $10 you could fill up your tank and get a pack of cigarettes.
and get a pack of
Oh,
cigarettes.
I never saw that in my
My
life.
point is that was like roughly like what 99.
Yeah.
That was like roughly 99. So in like 60 some years, it went up
4x or 10x.
Yeah.
It went
And
up
it's-
50.
And since then, in 30 years, it's gone up more.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's always.
Yeah.
I mean, like, yeah.
And
So like it exponentially got higher.
an egg was only 1.5 cents each.
That's crazy.
How much is a dozen eggs now?
I buy them at Costco, so.
Yeah, and bacon, 32 cents a pound. So for every hour you work, you could get nearly 3 pounds of bacon. Now a pound of bacon is like what, $12 or something? 13 bucks?
That sounds a little high.
I don't get
Is
my
it really?
bacon by pound.
I assumed it was still like around $7-8, but still, that's a lot. That's high too.
Okay. But anyway, bacon's more expensive in terms of, hours work versus blah, blah, blah and all
Sure.
that.
Okay, so what's the point here? I mean, we know inflation, yes.
Yeah, the point is life is worse now in terms of, standard of, apart from the technology and all that, this shit is all worse.
Yeah, the Federal Reserve has been, inflating our currency.
And
since
this was like 20 some odd, nearly 30 years after the Federal Reserve, isn't it? Wasn't the Federal Reserve like 1910 or so?
12?
something like
1912?
that. 1910s. Something, but like,
Pre-World War One?
yeah, pre-World War One.
Okay. So even a new house, 3,900. So like basically like
And then
30
That's like rent now.
And then
Yeah, right.
obviously
That's
after
rent.
we went off the gold standard in the 70s, then inflation even accelerated and faster after that.
So you really only needed to, like 27 months of work was a new house cost. Now it's like
That's my rent.
20 years of work.
Yeah, so this is how politicians fool people into thinking like they're richer than they are, because they'd be like, oh, look at all this like nominal dollars you're getting, but then they don't say that like now it's worth not as much anymore.
Do you know what I think of whenever the politicians were always talking about like how they're going to lower grocery prices during this last election? Did you ever watch Arrested Development? There was this one episode where they were like, what is a banana now? Like $88 or something? And people were like, what? I feel like that's what the politicians are like. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
They have
yeah,
no
yeah.
idea what grocery even costs to be promising this, like, groceries are going to be cheaper now.
They do that all the time though, right? Like when they ask like celebrities like, hey, what do you think a gallon of milk costs? And like,
No, yeah, Bill Gates did that. He's
$40?
like, it was something that was like he's like, $5.
Yeah. You're like, what, dude?
Anyway, let's move on to our next topic. I thought this was interesting, and it might, it might get heated. I don't know.
Remember, I want us to rewind back to the beginning of this episode when Michael was like,
We're gonna have a
Whoa.
peaceful episode today. All right, on to our next topic. Charlize Theron. She's a beautiful woman from South Africa.
South Africa. She's an African American.
She speaks Afrikaans.
Oh, does she really?
I heard her speak it in a movie.
I heard her speak it one time, yeah.
In a movie, right?
I think mine
What
was
does it
in
sound
an
like? It
interview.
sounds like. What does it sound like?
I'm not going to imitate it.
Kind of Dutch, maybe.
Yeah, a little bit.
It's
Is
a
it-
West
is it-
Germanic
is
language.
Oh, so it's derived from Germany?
South Africa, Namibia, which is just above South Africa to
Doesn't
the
sound
west.
anything like what you would think an
German.
actual African
It's not like a
accent would
clicking
sound
language.
like. Oh,
Right,
okay.
but it's not
Boom.
exactly
That's not
German
what I
either.
meant.
I'm imagining.
It's just Germanic. But this one says Creole language.
It has more of a white accent
It's
sound
from
is what I'm trying
Dutch,
to get at.
indigenous Khoisan, and other languages. Descended from the Dutch vernacular spoken by Dutch settlers. So it's kind of like a Dutch Ebonics? I don't know. Anyway.
All I know is there's a lot of white in that.
I learned that
sentence.
Roosevelt comes from a Dutch family in Manhattan.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
a lot of Dutch out that way.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Specific from Pennsylvania.
Charlize Theron is a beautiful woman. And I always found her...
Said that twice now.
Yeah, I always found her to be like, I mean, she's not like hot. She's just like beautiful. Like when she's made up and looking good, and I would be like, she's, because I'm not really into like white women. I don't find
You don't
them-
have to defend it. She's pretty. We get it.
No.
Yeah, okay.
I'm not.
So, yeah,
but
what's your
she's
point?
one of the exceptions, right?
Hot, sure. Okay. Moving on.
Even if you're not attracted, objectively, she's a very beautiful woman. Sure.
And Angelina Jolie is another beautiful woman, and
Yes.
Okay.
Where is this going?
she adopted all those kids.
Those Asian kids.
And
Were they
black.
all Asian?
No, and
black.
black.
And then even Sandra, what's her name? The speed lady. Sandra Bullock, she adopted a black kid. At least one. And then I read some, anyway, that's for later. But,
Sandra Bullock at least was because she couldn't have kids, right?
So I heard that
I don't know why I know that.
Yeah. But Charlize Theron has also adopted 2 children. Black children. Steven Spielberg also has black children adopted, right? Is this?
I don't go into the adoption trends of the celebrity, so I have no fucking idea.
Now but I found this interesting. As Charlize Theron, she adopted 2 black children who were born male, but they have decided they want to be raised female. I found this interesting because to me, it's like, I don't know, maybe this is all good and, wonderful and she's a good mother and all that. But I thought, what are the odds that 2 random black children that she adopted said, Mommy, I want to be a transgender, or Mommy, I'm a girl, or whatever happened there. And did she have anything to do with this? Like, was she pushing them in a certain direction? Like, as an actress, as a this, or I don't know. It just brought up questions in my mind, and I wanted to discuss it.
I don't know her situation, but yeah, it does look like there was definitely influence involved, if that's what you're asking.
Okay, like if I'm thinking really negatively, and I have 0 proof of this, and I could be totally wrong.
Sure.
But when I see 2 of them, to a blonde white woman, celebrity, Hollywood star, I feel like, was this something that she tried to get them to do and manipulate them so that it's for her Hollywood clout kind of thing? That could be very fucked up for me to say, but that thought did cross my mind.
It's not in the realm of impossibility. That's all I'll say.
Okay.
If you guys have ever had any experience with children, you cannot force them to do anything they don't want to do. Can they be brainwashed? For sure. But I don't think there's enough information for any speculation.
Yeah, definitely not enough information. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. Because also about Sandra Bullock, there was this story. I don't remember the details.
I'm just like, I guess like for me personally, even outside of this, I'm just like kind of against transracial adoption anyway. It's just, especially when the adoptee is white. Adopting person is white.
Well, regardless of who the adopting person is, it's been shown that transracial adoptees suffer significantly from mental health issues.
Exactly. So there you go.
Because of the identity problem.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. Like, even outside, like, and this is kind of tied into that a little bit, but like, at the end of the day, it's just kind of like, yeah. Culturally speaking,
the identity problem.
There's a cultural kind of like disconnect where they're not going to be the best mom they can be for that child because now they're taken out of a different context and put in a very different one. And it's just kind of like...
And I'm not bringing this up to dredge up something that we already talked about in the last episode, but the reason why the 2 racial identity segment has higher is because of the identity part. Transracial adoptees, they don't have... When you're being raised by someone who doesn't look like you, who doesn't experience the world that you do, you have these like reconciliation issues, and that can lead to mental health issues. Right. So, yeah, transracial adoptees do suffer from a higher level of mental health issues because of that. Because the stuff that they're going through, their parents will not be able to help them with. And there's something about that. You know what I mean? When you feel like it just makes you feel alone. And when you feel alone, that's.
I'd really like to interview a Korean adoptee who was adopted by like white people, for example. We had someone who used to work here.
Wait, wouldn't you be more interested in interviewing a Korean adoptee raised by black parents? Because I feel like the former we've got plenty of examples.
Well, I want to hear direct from them because I knew a guy who used to work here. He had he was adopted by a white father and a Japanese mother. He says his mother was cool, like, with his Korean stuff, but his father was not as accepting or understanding of that stuff, and it's still difficult to, I guess, kind of deal with him. I imagine that's true for many similar, adoptees. So I do want to hear those kinds of stories. So if you, we should find someone like that to be on our show. But anyway, that's it for Ktown Social Club. It was very peaceful today. I'm Michael Kim. Thanks to Ed Choi and Doug Kim. And we'll see you next time. Peace.